Beer here back at the Fantasy Bar. Friday is here. That means NBA, 6 of my favorite plays ready for you fresh off the tap, including some of my favorite correlations, some of my favorite games to attack. We're going to give you some of my favorite value plays as well. And what spots do we want to spend up on? Only one way to find out. It's time to belly up to the Fantasy Bar. Welcome in, guys. Friday edition, Beers Daily Fantasy six-pack, talking some NBA here. 6 of my favorite plays for you on FanDuel and DraftKings. Thank you, as always, for stopping by the Fantasy Bar and checking out today's video. Before we get to the plays for Friday, thumbs up button, very important, helps us out on YouTube. Lets me know you guys are enjoying the content and your time in the Fantasy Bar. So take a second, click that thumbs up button before we get to the play. Subscribe to the channel as well. Don't want to miss any of the content. NFL rolls on. We will have and do have a wild card NFL six-pack already out on YouTube, so go check that out, along with my pints and picks video. Been on fire with those picks. That video coming out later today as well for the NFL playoffs. So hit that subscribe button. Don't miss any of the content. All right, a lot of big injuries on this slate tonight, so we'll find some spots to capitalize on those injuries. But let's start at small forward, power forward, a team that's not really suffering any injuries. We're talking Atlanta, and we are talking Jalen Johnson. So this kid just continues to get better. I mean, coming off a big game, season high, career high, 63 DraftKings points in his last game. That's now 40 or more in 6 of his last 11 on DraftKings. You look at this game, certainly one that you are going to want to target here tonight. Big 252-point total in this one. And great matchup here with the Indiana Pacers, who have really struggled with forwards. Doesn't matter, small forward, power forward. We're talking 4th most fantasy points allowed to the small forward position, and no team in the NBA giving up more fantasy production to power forwards than the Indiana Pacers. Love this spot, love this game. Jalen Johnson, one of my favorite plays for Friday night. All right, let's get some correlation. Let's go to the other side at shooting guard, small forward, Bruce Brown of the Pacers. So we saw the injury to Tyrese Halliburton. Hate to see it here, but we can take advantage with some of these Indiana Pacers. Obviously, a ton of usage to go around. And in the first couple games here, I think you're going to really see these guys be underpriced. Some of the guys got some price hikes. Some of them remain underpriced, specifically Bruce Brown, who I really love in this spot without a Halliburton. Biggest usage bump on this team when Halliburton's off the floor at almost 4% here. And the Hawks really struggle with both shooting guards and small forwards. We're talking bottom 6 in fantasy production allowed to both of these positions here. So Bruce Brown can get it done in a variety of ways. I think we see him be a little bit more aggressive on the offensive end. We know he can stuff the stat sheet. I think he does that here on Friday night. All right, let's spend some money at power forward and center with Victor Wembanyama of San Antonio. So I get the concerns with the minutes for Victor Wembanyama. We've seen him be limited to under 30 minutes, but guys, this guy is smashing, put up a triple-double the other night in that scenario here, and what a matchup he gets tonight with the Charlotte Hornets. We'll talk about them here in a minute, but that's now 3 straight games for Victor with 50-plus fantasy points, 40 or more in 22 of his 32 games this season. And this a close competitive spread. High total here. Spurs will have a back-to-back, so maybe they unleash him a little bit, knowing that he'll probably sit tomorrow. But Charlotte, 2nd most fantasy points to both power forwards and centers allowed this season. A matchup we have been targeting for years. Not going to start here tonight, and still too cheap in my opinion. Over on DraftKings, Victor Wembanyama, one of my favorite spend-ups here on tonight's slate. All right, let's get some value to balance out that spend at power forward center with Nikola Jovic of Miami. So Miami, one of those teams suffering a ton of injuries. We know Jimmy Butler's been out for a while. He's listed questionable here tonight. Martin, also questionable. We add Tyler Hero to the mix. We saw him get injured in that last game. So all 3 of these guys listed as questionable. Now, if one of these guys of the 3 happens to play, still love the spot here. 2 of the 3 come back. Maybe we have to make an adjustment, and we will always do that in the YouTube comment section and on Twitter, but I did not want to leave this guy out. Been playing so well and can get it done in so many different ways. Touches every single category in the stat sheet. And we've really seen that with that additional run that he's gotten. 30 or more DraftKings points now in 3 of his last 4 games. So not the sexiest game on the board here, but that may help us out on ownership. I think it's great value here. Nikola Jovic of the Miami Heat. All right, let's go to the other side of that game with more value at small forward with Caleb Houston of Orlando. So I like this game that is not going to be a primary target with all the other high total games here. I want to grab a couple value pieces out of this game. We're not spending a ton of money here, but we're capitalizing on a game people may ignore in Houston. Another guy that's going to get some opportunity like Jovic for the Orlando Magic. Franz Wagner out, Gary Harris out. That's going to mean minutes and shots for this guy. 30 or more minutes in 3 of the last 4 games, and in those 3 games, averaging almost 30 DraftKings points per game, 27 shot attempts over the last 2 games. So outside of Paolo Banchero, they're not getting a ton of offense here. This guy can come in, provide some offense for them. Cheap prices under 5,000 on both sites. Great value here tonight with Caleb Houston. All right, it's time. Take a look at my favorite play from Friday night. Before we do that, let's run it back on our Beast of the Night contest. How do you play? Very easy. All you do, you click that thumbs up button, then you head to the comment section and you guess fantasy points on FanDuel tonight. For my Beast of the Night, whoever's guess is the closest, we're going to reach out and we're going to give you an absolute free week of RotoGrinders Premium just for hanging out here in the fantasy bar. All right, let's wrap it up with my favorite play for Friday night. You know him as the Beast of the Night. All right, Beast time. We've saved you in a lot of spots. We spent up on Victor. We're going to add one more spend here at the point guard position with Tyrese Maxey of the Sixers, tonight's Beast of the Night. So no Joel Embiid tonight once again for the Philadelphia 76ers, and seeing Maxey under 10,000 in these type of games to me is an underprice that I want to take advantage of. When Embiid is off the floor, big time 5.5% usage bump here for Tyrese Maxey. And let's look at all the other boxes that this guy checks here tonight. We got a big 242 total in this game. Check. 1 point spread, so should be a tight, close, high-scoring, competitive game. Check. Pace. Both of these teams rank in the top 10. Perfect for a guy like Tyrese Maxey who loves to get up and down the floor. And we can add in the matchup here as well. Sacramento 11, most fantasy points to the point guard position. I think Maxey goes for 50 plus. Hell, I think he goes for 60 or more in tonight's game. Tyrese Maxey, easily my favorite play on the board and tonight's Beast of the Night. All right, guys, that'll do it for our NBA six-pack for Friday night. Any comments, questions, or feedback, hit me up in that comment section right below the video. Don't forget, Tyrese Maxey's fantasy points on FanDuel with your guess for a shot at some free RotoGrinders Premium and special offer for you guys. If you have not seen this, our props and pick'em package been absolutely on fire for a limited time. And just for this wild card weekend, just $9.99 for the 3 days. Do not miss out on this. That link in the description of the video, just for you guys hanging out here in the fantasy bar. I wanted to get a special deal for you, but take advantage while you can. NFL six-pack is out on YouTube. Pints and picks coming out later today. And check us out on SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Radio, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern. Switching it up, getting a preview of the games. Channel 87. Come hang out on Sunday morning. For RotoGrinders.com, I am Beer saying salut, guys. Good luck in the NBA tonight and the NFL this weekend. Enjoy the games. Thank you so much for watching. See you next week.
Hey, thanks for checking out our videos. If you want more expert advice on DraftKings, FanDuel, or any other daily fantasy sports, make sure you check out the current videos playlist